Ghana's longest-serving chairperson of the Electoral Commission is warning of dire consequences if the Ghana card is used as sole evidence of identification for the continuous registration exercise. The Electoral Commission, through a proposed public elections regulations 2021, is making it mandatory for prospective voters who apply for registration as a voter to provide as evidence of identification the National Identification Card issued by the National Identification Authority. The former chairperson for the Electoral Commission, Dr. Kwadwo Afarajan, is advising the EC against using the national card, popularly known as the Ghana card, as a sole requirement for compiling a voter's register and subsequently in the voting process. Let's bring you a set of his concerns. Now, the Ghanaian citizens don't lose their citizenship if they are 18 years or older, but do not have the Ghana card. Again, so the moot question is, why make the Ghana card the only means of identification for purposes of establishing eligibility to register to vote? That's according to the former EC chairperson there. He again says, the electorate are the kingmakers. So as a basic responsibility of any electoral commission is to facilitate the realization of the people's right to register as voters and not to obstruct that right by demanding for registration purposes documents that are not easily accessible to the people. That's him there. Again, he says, one way to dodge this problem is to use a voters register that is not polling station specific on election day. That's what the chairperson, the former chairperson of the EC, is saying there. Now, he again says, until such a time that BVDs are configured to be interactive in this way, my concern, that's his concern, about any of the two registers being used at the polling station on election day is that it opens the door more widely to two kinds of voting infractions, namely multiple voting and ballot stuffing. That's the former chairperson, Dr. Kwadwo Afarajan, making his point there against the decision by the Electoral Commission to choose to use the Ghana card as the sole source of identification for registering for a voter's ID card and subsequently in the electoral process in 2024. Now, this evening, we are also learning that the National Democratic Congress has just reacted to the decision by the EC to use the Ghana card as evidence of one's nationality in registering for the voter's ID card. The party has just this evening released a statement calling on the EC to backtrack on that decision. Now, let's share with you portions of that statement that they released this evening. It says, the attention of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, has been drawn to news attributed to officials of the Electoral Commission that the Commission has agreed with political parties and civil society organizations that the Ghana card should be the sole document for the impending limited voter registration exercise. For the avoidance of doubt, the NDC wishes to state unequivocally that it has not been a party to any such consultation or meeting in whatsoever form that resulted in any such decision. The NDC will fully apprive the general public of the implications of the statement made by the Electoral Commission in the coming days on this absurd and unreasonable decision of the EC. In the meantime, the party wishes to use this opportunity to remind the Electoral Commission that under Article 42 of the 1992 Constitution, every Ghanaian of 18 years and above and of sound mind is entitled to register as a voter for the purposes of elections. This right to register and exercise one's franchise is an inalienable right that should not be denied citizens who qualify to exercise same. Again, Article 45E of the Constitution enjoins the Electoral Commission to undertake programs for the expansion of the registration of voters. It is for this reason that the NDC cannot be a party to any decision that seeks to constrict access to electoral roll or disenfranchise qualified citizens from joining the electoral roll. That's the statement the NDC has just released in reaction to that decision from the Electoral Commission. Now, joining us on Zoom for further deliberations on this is Dr. Kwesi Amache-Boateng, who is Senior Lecturer at the Department of History and Political Studies at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Doc, thank you so much for your time. How can we end this debate of whether or not we should use the Ghana card for the voters register?
Thank you for the opportunity, and let me say good evening to your viewers. Actually, the concluding part of the NDC statement is critical. The need for the ECs representing the state to ensure that everybody who has attained the age of 18 gets the opportunity to exercise his franchise is simply something that anybody can challenge. And so, when can we use the Ghana card? Not long ago, the authority came out to let us know the number of people who, in one or another way, do not have their cards yet. And so, we want to believe that we should really engage the National Identification Authority to get their acts right. And let us really get an understanding that it is not necessarily their actions and inactions that are preventing those who still don't have the Ghana cards to get them, because that should be the way forward. So when we are sure that Ghanaians have got these cards and that the difficulties involved in getting the cards, irrespective of the situation one finds himself or herself in, whether the information provided, have issues with it, it should be possible for the authority to do whatever it is, to address this challenge. Until then, definitely, it is only fair to argue that we can't use the card as the sole document in establishing one's nationality. But then, going forward, I believe that, Ghana, we've got to get our acts right. We've been doing a lot of marking time, standing at one place or even like moving in circles and going nowhere. We are definitely a poor country. And so Ghana simply cannot afford at regular intervals to, spend so much money in putting together voters register. So I think the Ghana card is the way to go. If that is the situation, then we should all, be interested in the work of the National Identification Authority to, address this challenge.
Interesting. But what if it becomes law that then the only identity you can use to prove your nationality is the Ghana card? What then becomes of the whole debate then?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but I like to believe that law should be reasonable, it should be rational, it should take cognizance of the situation that the law is going to apply in. And so what if it becomes law? When is it going to become law? Who are the lawmakers? Are they Ghanaians? Are they aware of the current challenges? So I don't anticipate that we're going to get any such law in the next few months or years.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doc, for your time in joining us here. Dr. Amache is a senior lecturer at the Department of History and Political Studies at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.